Welcome to That's My Biz, the Internet Business Showcase, where we bring exposure to products, services, and special causes of local businesses and organizations. Thank you so much for joining us. We are coming to you live from the BizLinks TV studio, brought to you by Visual Marketing Mentors, LLC. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of That's My Biz. I am so excited because we have been finding some great businesses out there that we want to share with you. And we have a special one today, Miss Pat Allen with Handbags. Welcome, Pat.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am going to get right in because, Pat is just phenomenal. I'm just learning even more and more about her and her business and the services. Just to tell you a little bit, she is a graduate of Parsons School of Design and New School for Social Research in the field of interior design, BFA. So for 30 years, she has been doing this, designing special events, film and theater, residential and commercial projects. And for the last 5 years, she's been designing custom-made leather handbags. So hence Handle It Handbags. Pat, I want to dive right in because we know you have a lot to share, a lot of experiences to share. So first thing we want to know is, how did you get into making your handbags?
Oh, that's a great question, actually. I think what happened was that as an interior designer, the market came and it actually devastated my business in so many different ways because I was freelancing with 7 different companies at the time. And I knew I wanted to. I was itching to be creative, although I couldn't get into my design. So I just put in a good prayer and that, Lord, give me something to do that's just going to benefit you and still is creative enough for me to satisfy you. And it was like I woke up one day and I heard a voice say, "You're going to make handbags." And I couldn't believe it. I said, "Who, me?"
So did you already know, or already sewed, or handbags?
I've been sewing since I was 3 years
Okay,
old,
okay.
but I've never made handbags.
Okay.
And that's what was so ironic because I thought to myself, who, me? And it was almost like I heard the voice say, "Yes, you." I got up, I ran out to the store, I went to a secondhand store, I bought a leather jacket for $10.
Okay.
And then I went to another secondhand store and I bought a handbag, cut the handle off, gave them the bag back, went home and made my first bag.
Wow.
That was my practice. So I would ask friends, can you give me some old leather pants and jackets that you have? And they would. And I'd come home and I kept practicing and practicing on them. I wouldn't sell anything.
Yeah.
I just wanted to practice and make sure I had it right.
Yeah.
Then I would carry them around in the trunk of my car. And I would ask people, do you like this? Do you like the way it's made? And I would get feedback. One day I went to a barbecue. It wasn't really a barbecue. It was a fish queue at someone from my church's home. And they had everyone lying around the wall, all the women, and said, "I want you to see these bags." They passed them around and said, "Wow, what a great opportunity to have a survey."
Exactly. You're getting your own market research
For
done
free.
here.
For free too. So they looked at it and they thought, okay, well, when are you selling them? How much are they? And I was like, well, they're not for sale yet.
Yeah.
But I was glad that they gave me a good response to it. And I said, okay, I'm on the right track.
Yes.
All right,
Absolutely.
so.
That is fantastic. And I hope you're already getting some ideas and just information here and talking about even building the business, because one of those first things is there a demand for it, for what you have to offer? And are people liking it? What's the quality? So just getting that market research and doing that market research is so important. And you were getting it right there, like you said, for free.
Exactly.
So just kind of diving right in with it. So you got the business off the ground, so you decided to start it and do it as a business. So
Yes.
kind of what were your next steps and then deciding that you're going to sell them?
Well, another good thing that happened to me, along with my blessing, is that I was in a program one day and a lady came to me and said, "Here's a business card. I want you to get in this program." And I was wondering, why me? We're in a hotel and all of these people here. Why did she select me? Once I participated, I realized it was a program that President Barack Obama was financing for small businesses.
Okay.
And so what I did was I got in a program. It was 15-week business training. It was like getting an MBA in 15 weeks.
Okay.
And it was wonderful. I love school anyway, but it was wonderful. Once I completed that, they bought me a commercial sewing machine so I could sew my leather. They
Okay.
bought me a laptop, and then they gave me financing so that I could get extra things for my office from Staples. Once that got started, I was like, this is getting even better.
Okay.
And I did this study and I realized this was for my bags are for women of moderate incomes, so that they can actually say, well, we like those bags, we can afford it. But the funny thing is, regardless of the economy, women always need handbags.
Right.
And you would think that, wait, everyone's complaining they don't have a job, but every lady has at least 10 handbags in their
Okay.
closet.
So those handbags and shoes, right?
Handbags
That's
and
the
shoes,
thing.
that's all we need to survive. And then we forget about anything between there. Okay. And once that got started, it just
Yeah.
really became a message to me that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be. God, I hear you calling me, and I hear you putting me in that direction, and I'm moving in it.
Okay.
From there, I got an invitation to go on Shark Tank. Then I started getting invited to go to schools and speak to children,
Okay.
which I love that because I spoke to kids like in art programs.
Okay.
They got excited. I got more excited because I'm like, this is not just handbags. This is
Right.
called giving back.
Yes.
And that's what I needed to do to make me feel better also because so much was coming to me.
Right.
And I needed to give that back. So then I went to a young group called SWABO, which is
I've heard of
Southwest
them.
Youth Business Organization. I got a chance to speak to them. They got excited, but they don't know I was more excited.
Right. Right.
So when I start seeing things turning around, I said, this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be doing this.
That's fantastic. So, I mean, it really turned in from just creating handbags to now you're out there speaking as well.
Yes.
We know I originally met you at a vendor event.
Yes.
So that was fantastic. So we know you're out there with the handbags at the vendor event. And what I always like and what brings people to your table is that they're very unique. It's not kind of the everyday things that you see in the bags, and you'll see many of the examples, and you can already see the uniqueness of the
Thank
bags.
you.
And I know you named the bags, so tell us a little bit about your designs and how you come up with them.
Actually, being an interior designer, that creativity in me just like itches,
Okay.
itches. And the fun thing about it is that I'm not committed to making anything like everyone else. And so since I have so much creativity built inside of me, that I just wanted to show it. Also, the fact that so many women buy handbags made by other people. They don't realize how many creative people we have in our own women of color, men of color that are very, very creative. And unfortunately, we don't support each other like we should. I wanted a handbag line that would also give people education on who they are and who we are
okay.
and whose shoulders we actually stand on. So I named my bags after women of color from around the world that we're standing on their shoulders today. Okay, and I enjoy just doing the research on the women because I get so excited about, oh my God, she was that, she was this, and we've never heard of these people. But we hear about the everyday people that everyone wants
Right.
knockoffs on and everything. These people are already millionaires. How about leaving a legacy for
love
our
it.
our generation to come?
I love it.
And so that's really what I really want to do. And most of the women are from, years back, years back. But I do have with me today a lady that we all know about, and I named this bag Michelle Obama
Okay.
because I think she is such an awesome person, someone to be proud of in our history. And this is a cute clutch.
Yes.
You just hold your hand,
Oh,
and
I
this is
love
how this
that.
clutch is actually carried.
Nice,
And
nice.
it keeps your hands free,
Yeah.
and you could be a lady all day long, just like she is.
Because I'm not the big, I call them the pocketbooks that
Right.
have everything in them. I'm more small, compact, and all of that. And so I hate carrying it because I want to keep up with it. So
Right.
that's a nice addition there. It makes it really easy to keep up with.
Thank you, it does. You know, my chiropractor, he always says to me, women carry so much stuff in their handbags. He said, that's what throws our backs out. Well, that also has something to do with the name of my business, and I call it Handle It because
Okay.
the majority of my handbags are
Okay.
held bags.
Okay, so not many shoulder bags.
Not many
Okay.
shoulders. The ones that I do have a shoulder usually cross because it's all about support
Right.
and not tearing us down because I'm trying to build us up.
That's fantastic. Now, and this is what I love because you wouldn't have thought so much went into this. I mean, and this is really already here what really sets your business apart. I mean, just from the startup story to, its purpose and the story behind the names of the bags. I mean, and that's something to be proud of when you carry the bag around and someone compliments you to be able to share that story about
Yes.
who that bag is named after, and then to know that you've even taken into account some of the medical side of it and the benefits
Yes.
for the women to, be comfortable at the same time.
Yes.
So you can be cute and comfortable,
Yes.
which we like that combination.
Yes.
So that's fantastic. Some other beautiful bags that you have here
Thank
as well,
you.
and those are named. What are some of the names of these?
Wow. I'm going to have to take the tags out because
Okay.
I'll tell you what happened is that I didn't want to crowd the bag with the tags hanging off of it because I actually give a bio.
Oh, okay.
A brief bio
Love
is
it.
attached to every bag
Love
along
it.
with a sample of leather conditioning and leather cleaner.
Love it.
Because I also want you to take care of
Love
your
it.
leather.
Fantastic.
Okay, and that's very important to me also. This is a clutch bag, which is actually named after Ellen Craft. In case you don't know who Ellen Craft is, she actually escaped as a man from slavery. And because she was
I've
so
heard
light
of her.
complected, she was able to get on the train and act like she was the master, taking her husband, who was dark complected, along with her as her slave.
Fantastic.
Her life went on to on. She became a clothing designer,
Yes.
and they just, and she refused to have children until she was able to escape slavery.
Okay.
So it was just a
Wow, that's
wonderful, wonderful
fantastic. You don't have
story.
to take them out.
Okay, and this just happens to be a great shoulder bag. It's not really a shoulder bag. I call it a bag with an attitude because
Okay.
it's to be carried like this with two fingers
Okay.
just over your shoulder. And when you walk like that, and you have on jeans or whatever you
Right,
have on,
right,
because
very
it's a nice
classy.
jean color, you are still just like, I have an attitude, and I know who my bag is named after and who I'm supporting. And
That's
that makes it more
fantastic.
fun because I want us to be able to just shout and we are so special.
Yes,
You
I
know,
love it.
so
I
that's
love
how
it.
is.
I appreciate just all you sharing with
Thank
that.
you.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. So now let me ask you. So we talked about you being an interior designer as
Yes.
well. So tell everyone a little bit about that.
Wow, okay. As I did say, as you did say, I'm from Parsons School of Design, New School for Social Research, which is a top school in the country for
Okay.
design. And actually, what I've done is once I've gotten out of, I started working for architectural firms. That was fun, but it was limited because you have to stay in a box. You know, you can't do it so much. I moved to Dallas, Texas to take that New York attitude and bring it someplace else.
Okay.
And once I got to Dallas, I started like, it just opened up for me. I got a chance to do so many different things. And I actually met a friend who said, let me show you what it means to work for yourself. That was the best thing I've ever done, is get somebody who just came to me and said, you need to work for yourself. And from that point on, I just started my own design business and just kept rolling from there. And the wonderful thing about it, once I moved to Atlanta, is that I was able to get a lot of contracts. First, it was a novelty to see this black designer in Atlanta. And
Now you
I
said
got
you were one of the first black females
exactly
interior designers in
in
Atlanta.
Atlanta at that time. And this was like 1990.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And therefore, that gave me a lot of work. There's a lot of people out there today that are very popular, and they probably wouldn't know me for mohair today, but yet and still that I had the opportunity to do their homes at that time. And I'm proud of it.
Wow,
I'm
that
very
is fantastic.
proud.
And like you
Yes.
said, this is a great time of year. The
Yes.
people use interior design not just for when they first build their home, but also during the seasons.
Oh,
So,
certainly,
it's
certainly.
fantastic.
For holiday seasons, people love to have their homes. You'd be surprised how many people have as many as 10 and 15 trees in one house. Yes. Yes, you'd be surprised. And trust me, these trees are huge.
Wow.
So, yes, it's a lot of
some
work.
really
And
nice
certainly, I'm
homes.
not doing it alone.
Yeah.
I have
yeah.
company. I have help.
Fantastic, fantastic. So now on your handbag. So like I mentioned, we met at a vendor event.
Yes.
I think it was a women's event, and you were there. And I've run into you many times
Yes.
since then at various events. So now with that, with the handbag, so most of the time you have many of them there
Yes.
for people to purchase. But then do you also do custom requests?
Oh, indeed, I do. And the request would simply be of something that I've already done, like a pattern that I've already created.
Okay.
And I don't do the same bag twice.
Okay.
I'll do the same style, but I always put a twist to it because I want the bags to stay original. And therefore, because like I have this one bag, I don't have one with me today. It's a Queen Tailleur bag, and she's shaped like a cone.
Okay.
That bag is so
I've seen that
popular.
one. Yes,
It is
very
so
popular.
and I've been like making them and shipping them out, which is wonderful. But it's just a fun style. It's a fun thing. I'm having fun.
It
I'm
sounds
having
like
fun.
it. Sounds like it. And you get an opportunity to work with the different materials, different designs, and all of that. So, kind of, how long does it take for you to do one bag?
I think it's all about where your creativity is sitting that day.
Okay.
Sometimes I can make a bag in just a few hours, and sometimes I can make up the same bag in a few days.
Okay.
It depends on. I don't want to be pressed to do anything. I don't want to be forced. I want to enjoy life. So if I tell someone I'm going to make it, I give myself a 2-week lead because I do have other things that I'm doing at the same time, and they understand the 2 weeks, and that's great. I might make it the same day, but I start by drawing it out because I can draw, so that helps me a lot. And I'm
Right,
glad that
right.
interior design came through it to
Right,
help me
yeah.
since I draw them out. And so many times along the way, I might decide to change it until I'm pleased. And then don't forget, there are bags that I have to eat myself. And I don't mind because I enjoy eating it. As a matter of fact, this is a bag that I
beautiful.
started. Thank you. and I made, and this bag I had to eat. It's my bag, simply because someone said to me one day, it's not wide enough to put my iPad in.
Okay.
So I thought, well, wow, I need to keep this for myself then. And
Okay.
guess what I have in here today? My iPad.
Oh wow. That must have been before the minis came out. They didn't know that was coming. So
Actually, this was just recent. And I
wow.
thought to myself, okay, everyone says that, great reason
Yeah.
for me to keep the bag.
Yeah, fantastic. And again, you use your bags. Of course, you're carrying your own bags. I'm sure people are asking you, but
Yes,
where did you get that bag and all of that too? So it becomes a marketing piece for
that's
you, right? So
exactly
cost
right.
of doing business there.
And nobody can market better than you yourself.
That's right. And
Okay.
you can say that one more time.
Oh, no one
Yeah.
markets better than you yourself. And since people say, "Oh, you dress so creative," well, good. My handbags are creative also, and then I can really show them off better.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now you mentioned other designers, of course, and kind of the big name designers, and that you made your bags for the one with a modest budget or moderate budget. So now, what about the knockoffs? Because people, they kind of see something and they figure, well, I'll just go get it, cheaper somewhere. How do you address that?
Well, that's fine, because I let people know immediately that, first of all, this is a designer that you should be proud of, number one. And what else can you possibly do? A knockoff. What is it doing for you? I mean, why wouldn't you
Yeah.
bring your finances back into your own community? That makes no sense.
Right.
People say things, they even go as far as saying, well, what if your bag breaks? I'm like, excuse me, I made it. If it breaks, I'll repair it.
Yeah.
But what happens when you buy that knockoff?
Right.
And then another thing is that people who have knockoffs, you can't do knockoffs at shows. Many shows won't accept them.
Right.
And another important thing people need to understand about handbags and leather handbags is that the knockoff handbags are made out of vinyl, which happen to be carcinogenic. Especially if you're carrying a clutch bag and you carry it close to your breast area,
Interesting.
the metal, the lead in the paints and the dyes is affecting our breasts. The same reason they tell you don't put your
Yes.
cell phones there is affecting our breasts. And unfortunately, we're getting breast cancer from it.
Yeah. Wow.
And so we really have to be cognizant about what we carry and don't just think, oh, well, it's cute, everyone else has the same bag.
Right. And
You
I
know.
think that's a great point to make, because you were sharing the story earlier off camera about your experience, your most recent experience at a vendor event where you were selected because you had custom bags. They weren't bags that you were purchasing and reselling, or they weren't knockoffs. And you mentioned a big piece of that is your paperwork in order. Share a little bit about that and the importance of that.
Well, I did the Woman Thou Art Loose show at TD Jakes Ministries in October, and although there was 3 floors of vendors, I was so surprised to find that I was the only vendor actually that was there that was selected. And what that was based on was
Yeah.
the fact that I'm doing custom work, so no one's copying. I'm also the fact that I have my business license together,
Right.
the fact that I have my insurance together. I'm registered with the state, I'm registered with my county, and all of that was important because they didn't want to get into the legalities of fake handbags,
Right.
fake this, you stole this, that designer complained. So I felt gifted.
Wow.
I was very gifted, and I was said, wow, thank you again, God.
Yes, that is fantastic, and definitely great message, because we do want to share, the business tips for everyone out there as well. And I would say, share one of the biggest lessons, challenges that you had to overcome with your business.
My biggest challenge probably is when, and I don't really think, I think it's the challenge probably is my customer.
Okay.
My customers, because customers like to make comments, and it's because we're women, and that's what we do.
Yeah,
And you'll be surprised how many people come to me and tell me, I have the same handbag. And I just look at them,
You're like,
just like that expression
no.
you gave me, I have
Right.
the same handbag. Then when I look at them, they say to me, well, it's like round and it's in a different color, and this is like this and this is like that, and this part is different. And so I see
Yeah.
my biggest challenge is usually just dealing with the public, listening to what they say, remaining calm.
Yes.
Because you know what they're saying is not true.
Right,
And they're
right.
sitting and they're trying to convince you.
Right,
And then they realize silence is golden. Then they realize, well, she's looking at me. She knows I'm not telling the
Right.
truth. So I think I think that's it. That's the public.
Okay. Okay.
That's my biggest challenge. Other than that, I feel so free because I don't have to emulate anything that anyone else is doing.
That is fantastic. It's fantastic. And I'll tell you, we definitely, just pray for your success. We
Thank
know
you.
this is successful, and we're happy to be part of helping you share your story.
Thank you.
Just the extra information that you provided about the stories behind the handbags just make it so different, and hopefully makes everyone out there that sees this show, come get one of these handbags. Find out where Pat is. Pat, tell everyone how they can get in touch with you and how they can purchase your handbags.
Okay. Well, actually, you can go to my website, which is www.handleithandbags.com. And let me just stress that handbags is spelled HANDBAGZ, like in zebra. But if you make a mistake and put an S, it's okay, because fortunately I own that website also. It's best to do that. You can also hit me. Well, once you go there, you can write me through there if you have anything to say. Or you need any additional information. You can also contact me at 770-364-5844. I'm also found on Twitter, and it's Handbags for You, and that's because they are.
Fantastic. Pat, thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
for
us and
inviting
sharing your story and sharing your products with us. Everyone, please make sure that you share this episode with other family and friends. This is a time of year for sharing those gifts. Look at putting an order in, getting something pre-made for the new year as well. Because I know Pat, I can imagine her inventory right now is probably just already gone because so many people have already purchased from the other shows that you've been
Yes.
at. But definitely, please think of that special person as you go through the year and giving them something unique, something custom that no one else has. Please be sure to follow her. Continue to watch us on That's My Biz, and you can reach us at bizlinks.tv. You can also check us out on YouTube, and that's also youtube.com/bizlinkstv. You can comment on this show. We'd love to hear your comments. If you'd like to reach out to Pat, please let her know. If you already have one of her handbags, please make a comment out there and just share your experiences that you're having, or if you have any other ideas, we'd certainly love to hear it by you sharing that with us on our YouTube channel. Also, for those that have the Roku box, you can check us out on the HerTube channel, and stay tuned for the BizLinks TV channel as well out there on Roku. I am Pamela Alexander, your host of That's My Biz, and remember, we want to expose your business to the world. Thank you for joining us. Today's show can be viewed on demand on our website at www.bizlinks.tv. If you are interested in having your products, services, or special cause showcased on our program, submit an inquiry to that'smybiz@bizlinks.tv. In addition, information on advertising and hosting your own show can be found on our website at bizlinks.tv.